Welcome back. This is Will at Work. I'm Kevin. Today we are looking at the Xbox 360. That has a custom plate on the front of it with videogamenews.com logo. I have a couple of Xbox 360s. I think I have two. One is still hooked up and the other is here. I've probably also in my life have had a couple other ones that I've given away at one point or another. 360, Microsoft second console. They really came out swinging with this one. It is, for all intents and purposes, a very good game system that was plagued with a problem. A problem which caused units to eventually fail. What the actual problem was, I don't think has ever been definitively explained as far as I've ever read. Now, there's been some very good journalism on it. I've read a lot of things that, people have uncovered and found out about it. It does sound like there was some problems with the way it was manufactured and how the cooling was set up, and that eventually it would fail. But it seems like if it was just a manufacturing assembly problem, they would have caught it at an earlier point. It went to an extent where Microsoft had to bring these things in from people and give them, either a replacement or a repair in order to get them to work properly again. So I'm just not quite sure if the problem was only due to that hardware failure, or if there was also something along the lines of they had sort of like a safety trip in their software that maybe was, let's just say, prematurely shutting systems down when they may have not needed it. Either way, regardless of what my theories are, the system itself, got a bad mark on it for that. But then Microsoft came out with Kinect, and that kind of redeemed it because it was a new way of doing motion control that everybody, for a moment in time, really enjoyed. Now, I have a lot of things for the 360, so we'll kind of go over them. I didn't do this for the PlayStation 3 because I only have one PlayStation 3 and it's still hooked up. Here I have, one that's taken apart so I can show you more about it. Maybe one day I'll redo the PlayStation 3 video when I take the PlayStation 3, out of where it is right now and put it into storage. I'll do a little video about it and a little playthrough just so everybody can see it, and we think things are just a little bit more equal, because I know fanboys on one side or the other get a little bit irritated when you don't give them proper credit. Now, there's a few different models of the 360, but I will say that I believe this is a very early model, I think, and it did not have an HDMI port when they originally sold this, and it did not have wireless. It only had wired internet, which was a mistake. The HDMI was not a mistake necessarily. You could have introduced it. It certainly would have helped, but most all TVs that were high definition in the early days could use the component cable hookups that allowed for high definition, and it would have been fine. HDMI was more or less when we started to get more 1080p content and copyrights with, copyright protection with films and things of that nature on PlayStation with Blu-ray. mattered a little bit more than it did here with Xbox, which didn't support the Blu-ray. So I do have a component out cable. That's kind of what that looks like there. So when we hook this up, we will use this, since this one does not do HDMI like my other one does, and that's probably why this one's not hooked up right now. I'll plug that in, and I will have to use a different encoder because the one I have only does composite, but that's okay. I will work that out later. Put this over here for now. And I believe you could do composite out of this too if you had a standard 4:3 television. Most people, I think, wanted to upgrade, but right when this came out, not everybody had a high-definition TV, and it wouldn't have been unusual for somebody to get one of these and not be playing on HD. So we have Resident Evil 2 Revelations, Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, let's see. So while Microsoft was competing against Sony, they did come out with an HD DVD drive, which only allowed you to play movies. These things were fire saled at one point. Same with the movies, because obviously Blu-ray won that war. I guess it seems more like streaming won the war, but they eventually sold these for like $50. And the one thing that was nice about these being only $50 was the fact that you could use them as an external drive for your PC. So if you wanted to like burn DVDs or things like that, this wasn't a burner, but you could use this as the reader, have the other one as the writer. It's kind of cool for that. As well as you could always change the drive inside this if you wanted to something else and have this nice external case. At the time, that was pretty cool. It's cool to me. Wasn't necessarily cool to everybody else, but hey, man, it's $50. It also had a USB hub on the back, so it gave you an extra couple of USB 2.0 ports. So all in all, part of the kit, so to speak. And I ended up purchasing a couple of those simply because I thought it was a pretty good deal. So your controllers were not rechargeable. Typical Microsoft, they took batteries, or you could buy rechargeable packs and charge them up. Headset on the back here, etc. I'm sure everybody watching this is pretty familiar with the Xbox 360, but YouTube is forever. Eventually younger people will be watching it. Now here's like the battery case that goes on the back. It would snap in, put some batteries in it. Let's do that now, because I'm going to have to use one of these anyway, right? So this thing needs some cleaning. This one was down in the basement. It gets really dusty down there. And we have a wired controller as well that you could plug in. It was USB. It has this brake contact, so there's another piece that plugs into this, the USB. And these were also good because USB, you could also just directly plug this into the PC and be able to use these controllers on a PC as a USB controller. There was an adapter, because these weren't standard Bluetooth, that you could use on the PC to play the wireless on the PC as well. But that was a separate purchase. It's like sort of an initial headset that would come with one of these. You would just plug this into the bottom of the unit, and then it's real generic. People, of course, bought better ones. This is the kind of one that would come with the system initially. You could also use a USB hard drive late in the game to store games on it, as well as saves and all that kind of stuff. Games you would download off of the 360 store. So that was nice to have. I don't think Sony ever offered that. Sony lets you... Now can't remember for sure anymore, but I think maybe Sony changed late in the game. But I think for the longest time anyway, you couldn't do that with Sony. What you could do is take the drive out of the Sony, put in a bigger drive, and they made that really easy. Microsoft did not make that easy at all, but Sony did. So Sony was just like, get a bigger drive, put it in. You don't need these external things. I get it. I gets it. It makes the sense to me. I have different drives for this thing too. Let's see here. Here's the Wi-Fi dongle that you could get for this. You could plug it into the USB and then get Wi-Fi. We're going to need that probably for the show and tell, because some of these things might need to get license checked if I play something that's stored on the system. And I have a few different things. Just checking to see if I have a so this is a composite lead cable. I just wanted to show you that they existed. So, you know, standard Microsoft port, you could plug in a what do they call that, SPDIF or whatever, optical cable into there, and so you could get optical audio out, and you could use a super in or just the yellow, red, and white, none of which are high definition. So originally you could play this only on a regular CRT, kind of like the Wii, because the Wii was not HD either. But obviously the Xbox 360 shifted to HD and away from square screens pretty quickly. HDMI. And we have the HDMI converter right there. That does not come with it, but I've got one because I wanted to hook this thing up to HDMI, and that's what we're going to do today. Monster cable. This thing probably cost a lot at some point, although I didn't buy it. Probably got it to review it or something. I think, you know, these things are kind of expensive, these monster cable things, so I wouldn't recommend somebody paying too much for them, but maybe this was cheaper. I don't know. I don't know. I know most of their stuff is rather expensive. That's probably green. And this is regular red. Okay, all right. We need to plug this in over here. And then we have the power brick, which, so here's the connector for the gamepad here. And we have the giant ass power brick. These could get hot and sometimes they would burn out too. Now this particular Xbox 360 that we're playing on did get the red ring of death. It got it late. It was an early unit, but it got it late. I did play on it a lot, but for whatever reason it did not give up the ghost too quickly. But it did eventually red ring. It was under warranty, and Microsoft did honor it. I had to send it in, just as annoyed as everybody else when it came to having to do that. And, you know, Microsoft did a repair on it and sent it back to me. And it has worked ever since, so I have nothing to complain about there other than the fact that it was kind of a bummer. I do have the 120 gigabyte hard drive add-on on the top. I don't know what that topped out at in terms of Microsoft's first-party hard drives that they were selling with these things. Which was the largest one? Was it 250 gigabyte or was there a 500? I don't know what they sold, but at the time when I bought the 120, that was the largest you could get, that I recall anyway. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'll switch over to the video side. We'll just take a look at a couple of videos of some of these games, because everybody knows what 360 games look like. But since we're just going through this whole process, we might as well just take a look so we can compare it as we move up to, say, Xbox One and eventually Xbox S and Xbox Series X. And we'll do the same for PlayStation Pro and PlayStation 5 when we get there. Okay, here we go.
Well, I tell you, this getting this Xbox 360 up and going was quite the endeavor. Not that the 360 itself, I'm sure you can hear it's pretty loud. That's because it was fixed, right? Red Ring of Death. So this particular model is a little bit louder than other ones, although they all kind of sound like a wind farm after a while. No, it was, what they don't want you to basically do is use your Xbox Live account on, like, say, Xbox One, and then use it on, like, Xbox Series and Xbox 360 and have it all logged in the same place. So they, disable it, or basically you got to import it from one to the other. And so I had to, like, bring this one back to life by, downloading it again and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, let's see. Let's try. Let's try. So this is Dead Space by Electronic Arts. This was like a series of games that Electronic Arts made. That initially the first one did pretty good. Second one did great. And then they were like, the third one is going to do amazing. And they put all this Dead Space stuff together, and it didn't do very well at all. Unfortunately, people were just maybe tired of the genre, or, these things sort of have a ripple effect. You play the first one, gets good reviews. You check out the second one, you enjoy the second one. But it feels a lot like the first one, so when the third one comes out, you're not in the mood to really go through the whole thing again. But that doesn't mean the third one's not bad, just people didn't buy it. But then, they also had Extraction on the Wii, and it was like on rails. It was like a shooter. People always, review people always hate games that are on rails, and I think it's unfair. There is a lot of great light gun games throughout the history of light gun games that are all on rails, and they're all pretty good. They're all fun. But you get a game on rails, people want open world, they want to be able to explore. They don't really care that the game is designed a specific way. Because I have Extraction, it's fun, it's pretty good. But anyway, this just gives us an idea that this is working.
Don't worry, we're almost there. You'll be able to look
Xbox Live is still supported on the Xbox 360. So that's nice to see.
Sinking our orbit now.
So play your games and everything. It's a shame that they sort of abandoned the.
Daniels. Each 7 is a gold mine according to prospectors' reports.
Dead Space series. It had kind of an interesting lore behind it, These planet cracker ships were busting up plans for mining operations, and they found this artifact that created all these hell demon type creatures and stuff, and there was these sort of almost depressing storylines going on at the same time, with these people kind of losing their mind and going crazy, and missing their loved ones and shit. But they could have built more onto that, and they could have made EA's got the resources, and they just decided, we don't want to do survival horror anymore. We want to do Call of Duty or whatever, or is that Activision? One of them, you know what I mean? Whichever one they were doing. And so, yeah, no more Dead Space. Kind of a bummer. Maybe they'll bring it back one day. Maybe they'll breathe some life into it. You look at like the horror, genre is pretty.
It's a busted array
It's
like
constantly got new
Sounds
games
like you're
coming
having
out for
problems
it.
with
If
their
you,
encoder.
especially if you look at like the
Make it a
smaller
standard
indie
and see if I can
titles,
fix
there's a
it
ton of
48
games
hours
designed
max.
around
Alright, you heard the lady.
horror
Take a sample,
games.
see what needs fixing.
And things like Five Nights at Freddy's for kids, you know, huge sellers, stuff like that. The genre is well liked and well loved. I mean, look how well the most recent Resident Evil did. People do like the genre. So, you know,
Switch to manual, now.
Inside the magnetic field?
just because you had one loser, one stinker,
Make it inside.
I don't know. Sometimes I think Electronic Arts, like they want everything to be like a big seller, you know. And it's kind of like, you know, you could have smaller teams. You could have smaller teams and make smaller titles, you know, that don't have to cost $100 million to make or
Everyone
whatever.
okay?
I mean, people do it all the time.
What the hell were you thinking?
It's kind of like
Trying to
indie
get us
movies,
killed?
you know. You can make some indie movies, make some indie games.
That speed and distance with a smash
Can I
right
go?
into the side
I'm not
dish
free to
work.
go.
Now settle down.
About the only time you actually get to see that guy's face before he puts that freaking helmet
From
on.
the port booster, and we've lost comms and autopilot.
Which
It'll
that
take
guy
some
being
time to
me.
fix.
Alright, let's get some extra hands from flight deck to help out.
I think, like, when it comes to like 3D game worlds,
I'm syncing up everyone's rig with the
like
ship.
when you start looking at like a console where you can go back and play something and it still kind of holds up pretty
We've
good.
still got a job to do. We're moving
I
out.
think it mostly started with this generation 360 PlayStation 3. Little bit of some stuff on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, but not a lot. This is the first generation, I think, where like you can still go back and play these games. These games hold up. You know, I'm not saying games on these old systems don't hold up, but these 3D type ones, like if you go back and play some of those early PlayStation, like the original PlayStation 3D games, they're rough. They're like, ugh. It's all blurry and controls aren't good, and they haven't figured out good control schemes yet or anything.
You didn't lose power to the port booster. You lost the port booster.
I'm running. Ah, it's over. Shit. Open the door. Open it.
Guess the
Oh,
power's down
fuck's
everywhere.
sake.
Isaac, get over here.
Maybe. You dump that one guy. Start dating him. Blue holograms to activate. Open. Open the door. Alright. What's this? Give me all that. Okay, let's try to smash this. Not yet. We'll be back, though. We can smash it later. What's up, dude? Why don't I get a cool gun like that? You guys are gonna give me like some utility wrench. Try and survive out here against a bunch of freaking undead monsters and shit.
Seems like everyone was trying to pack
No,
in a
no
hurry.
rifles for me.
Should be a security
Do
detail.
do.
Yeah? Well, there's not.
Can't save my game. Can't smash this crate.
Broadcasts.
I can run in circles though while you guys talk to each other.
Isaac,
You
plug
think
in.
you're
See
so
what you can
cool?
find. Kendra, get that elevator back.
There's gonna be a boogin. It's gonna come out any minute.
Figure this out a lot sooner. Let's get that computer display up, Isaac.
Use the locator system to find your next objective.
Load the damage report. We really need a weapon.
Huh, that doesn't look good. She's taken a lot of damage.
The tram system's offline. Getting around is gonna be difficult.
Oh my
And
god.
she's been
Alright,
wrong again. That's a start.
here we go.
What the
Comes a
hell?
boogin.
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted.
Get out!
Everybody
door.
relax.
Get out of here!
What was that? Did you hear that?
Not sure.
Sorry about that one.
I don't know. Something's in the
Oh,
room
look out for that guy. Oh, shit. I could really use a gun. Told you guys.
Come on.
It is? There's Seems locked to me. Oh. There's a boogin coming to kill me with his spear hands. I guess I should run. Can't remember which one's the run button. Can't run away.
Get the hell out of there!
Gonna take the elevator to town. Alright, I completely forgot how to run. This is not a good plan at all. Everybody's dead but me, and I got no gun. Good thing I'm going deeper into the hellscape. That makes a lot of sense. What's this? Oh, smash that thing. Oh my god. No, I don't care about that. Yeah, we got the plasma cutter. Right. And we beheaded that guy. Okay, good. Yeah, can I smash this yet? There we go.
Use melee to knock back an enemy for a quicker escape.
Right. Anybody else? Good system. Shoot the glowy thing and the doors start working. Forgot I put this on hard. Takes a little bit to kill these things. Got no extra bullets. Gonna get killed in a minute, and the video will be over as we get going through the dark tunnels of hell. What's this? Save the time. Save the time to talk to me. I'm in the middle of a hellscape. So that I can get whatever this is.
Everybody listen up. They're using the vent. That's how they're getting around the ship. Stay away from down. Get back. Get
Sounds great. I'm on my way. Seems like a happening party, guys. Gonna be a boogin in here.
Isaac! Isaac! God, I can't believe you made it.
Isaac,
Let's talk to you.
we ran into more of them on the way over here.
Still can't save my game.
What? What the hell are those things?
Who's
The
this?
crew?
Hey, what's up?
Keep your voice down. Whatever they are, they're not
Hey,
ready. Have
there's
to
gonna
go
be
on
monsters.
because of the quarantine.
You guys look really calm.
Now we have to get to the bridge. First, we gotta repair the tram system.
You're crazy, Hammond. You're gonna get us all killed.
If you listen to me,
Alright.
I'll get you out of here
We
alive.
are fully loaded, ready to rock. Can you say my game
Navy
first?
Borders ride.
Not that I'm gonna come back and play anymore, but no, we gotta listen to you guys battle shit.
Tunnel that needs to be repaired. Damn it! Everything is on the other side of this quarantine. We can't reach it from here.
Yeah, we can. But you can. Isaac, if I can get to the bridge, I should be able to access the personnel files.
Please stop talking.
Fix the tram, and I'll help you find Nicole.
Whoa.
Use the maps.
Stop
Check
it.
objectives and important locations.
No one needs that much help. You need that much help, you shouldn't be playing the game. Don't turn off your Xbox 360 in the middle of a save. You never know what might happen. You make a video about that. There's a good idea, everybody. You want a good idea for a video? That'll be funny, right? Have somebody like press the power button while a game is saving, and then switch to like nuclear war happening and bombs going off and cities burning down and shit, people screaming. It'd be great. I'm sure you'll get 1 million views. You make like $4,000. Got myself some credits because I'm gonna go shopping. Oh yeah, that guy's totally gonna get back up. So the secret to surviving in this game is to cut their limbs off, because that is the only thing that works. We don't. Just give me the fucking gun bullets. Oh, for Christ's sake! Never coming back. Doesn't matter. No. No. How far away do I have to walk? Come on. Let's move on. Let's move along. Someone's gonna jump out of that air vent. It's red and evil looking.
Engineering. We think we figured it out. Smith killed one. Listen, forget about shooting him in the body. You gotta cut off the
See?
limbs.
He just
Grab
told you
a
what I
cutter,
just told
anything
you.
like that. Cut him apart.
Well, this shit's broke. Can't go that way. Which one of these buttons is for? No. One of these days I'll figure it out. It's out of here. Alright.
Isaac, be careful. Shooting them in the body didn't seem to work. Go for the limbs. Dismember them. That should do the job.
I wonder how you're supposed to kill these guys. Gonna get some money. Alright. This is getting kind of boring.
Looks like that door is malfunctioning, Isaac. Try using the stasis module you just picked up.
Which one is this thing? Oh, not that one. Uh-oh. Logan's on the way.
Module should be able to help you with that arm mechanism.
Hey, X-Girl3443 sent me a message. Yeah! Wonder what X-Girl's all about. Okay. We got that going on. Spam on your game console. Who thought? Who would have thought? So you think that it's over, but it's not.
Listen up, car 8 is trashed. We managed to get it back to the repair
Shit.
depot, but now the auto
Let's
loader
see.
is fried. I need a stasis module brought down here now. If we don't get this piece of shit off the tracks, it's gonna jam up the whole system.
The one's broken. So I gotta like go down there now or something. Oh, puzzle games. I think I have to use like my stasis on it or some bullshit. I'll do that again. Boo! Something like that, though. And then what? I gotta like run to the door or something while that's going on. Yeah.
Replacing damaged tram car. Please stand by.
Isaac.
No thanks to you guys.
Blocking the whole system. When you get the computer online,
Fucking
you'll be able to call
goblins
the
and
from
shit
the control
down
room.
here.
Faster the better.
Fucking
I can't be crawling
ghouls.
around up there.
You guys give me some holy water instead of this stupid gun. Go boogin.
Tram replacement complete.
What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Shit. Alright, well anyway, I don't want to keep playing this game all night. So, Xbox 360 works, Dead Space. I won't play like a whole plethora of games like I normally do. Just a little let's play this, the horror game, because it's funny. But it also gives you a good representation of the graphics and everything that the 360 was doing at the time, which all in all isn't too bad. You know, it's a decent system. Just had a big problem with shoddy manufacturing quality. Alright. We'll be back tomorrow with something new, something more exciting. Thanks for watching. See you then.